Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Broman Clash right here, and if you notice, got some fingerless gloves. Don't worry, I had these for quite some time. But anyways, I want to talk about something, and I want to talk about music and how is it very important. And I remember a wise ancient man once said, he said this: music is a pleasure that humankind can't do without. And it's true, because music is an influential part of human culture and the arts. There are four major groundbreaking arts: singing, acting, music, and and drawing, or artistry in that matter. But they all come together. Or let's not forget about dancing and all that stuff. But you catch my drift. But the arts are very important. But music has like a very great reverberance throughout history because it shows a culture, it shows life, it shows style. But what happens when culture is forgotten, but yet it's been used for money? You could look at it in today's times, and you can actually hear the garbage that's spewing out from the fucking radios and shit. Yes, and the radios, sure they may get a lot of money, but yet they are also getting conned out of a lot of money. Well, the musicians and all that stuff, how the way they are signing these contracts and all that crap, thinking that they're going to get a lot of money. Sure, they may, earn a couple million here and there, but when it comes right down to building their own business, they're kind of lost. They're just employees with large paychecks. That's how it is. Say for an artist, a dancer, there are certain contracts that are there, but if you're a freelancer and you put the word out for yourself and not sign any contract, that money is your own. And sorry for that brief intermission. We're talking about the arts and how the way it's kind of corrupted through mainstream media and through what the what the companies want instead of what the people need. But then when it comes right down to artistry, art, especially music, takes time and effort. What is right now, that's not music, that's just processed junk, just like the food that we're eating. And I understand that you heard about processed food, processed music, factory bullshit. That's all they are. It's just bullshit in general. But art takes time and it takes effort. Not everything comes out in a whim. Like when it comes right down to art, I mean, I'm an artist myself. I mean, I draw, my own stuff here and there. But sometimes I need the inspiration, I need the spark. And then once the spark comes, I'll do it. But then, it takes time and energy to cultivate. And after it's done, you know what people say? Sometimes they say, "Oh, that's not good." Sometimes they say, "That's great." And you know what I say? I say, for those who say it's not good, then tell me, what can I do to improve? That's the main thing that I think artistry has forgotten, especially in today's times. The sense of honesty and the sense of being humble and saying like, "Hey, look, I understand that I did accomplish something and I did improve myself throughout the years, but may I ask, what did I do wrong? How can I improve?" Because there are some bourgeois artists who would just say, "Yeah, I'm an artist. I'm this. I'm that. What you gonna say about me? You can't touch me. I've been in the game for 20 years." Yeah, they're artists just like a little kid's drawing. You can't talk about why art is art unless you gotta understand that when it comes right down to culture, culture is pure, but it can be tainted, especially with outside greed. But enough about that. Let's talk about music and how come music nowadays, like especially with music with a message that can change the masses, is virtually not there anymore. And the real sad part is the fact that it's not being broadcast. It's not the fact that the musicians are not there. It's just that it's not being broadcast because it has to meet like certain criteria. You know, is it going to be popular? Is it going to have some influence, or is it going to be just bullshit? Because they say Not only sex, but bullshit sells. I mean, if you really hear the radios and all that shit, you can obviously see it. But music is a very important subject and a very important matter because it's a part of culture. It's a part of an identity of who a people know what are a people and who the people are. Especially, but like unified music genres such as hip hop, metal, punk, hardcore punk, especially, and they unify people together. And that's the beautiful part because they unify different types of cultures, different walks of life, and basically they also bring up a message. Sure, you may see on TV, you may see on like hear on radio that they say like rap music or hip hop is mainly for blacks. And don't get me wrong, let's get down with the history lesson. See the history of hip hop goes like this. And it started out in the Bronx in the 1970s, and it was created by DJ Kool Herc. And yes, it is a black created music genre, but it was a culture. Let me just get that out of the way. Hip hop is a black culture. It's a subculture more than it's a genre. See, what they try to portray out on TV, that's not hip hop. That's trash hop. And funnily enough, when it comes right down to it, what they're trying to label as hip hop, trying to say like, oh, this is what black people do. No, 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 no. That's just fake. That's just putting out a certain image out there. Because hip hop is much deeper. And I know I'm going off tangent talking about hip hop, but it does connect to how the way music is very important and how the way it's a mainstay in terms of culture and lifestyle, and even in lives for that matter. Because music, I consider it like the soul of the person. Art is like the physical essence of a person. Singing, acting, that's the heart of the person because they're literally giving you they're literally giving you what they feel as opposed to how the way it's supposed to be portrayed in physical form. See, art is like the earth. Singing, singing and acting are like the fire. Music is like the water because it adapts. And air, dancing, because it's free. Even though they try to make it look structured, but it's truly free. I'm not much of a dancer myself, but that's the feeling I get. And when I look at the arts and I look at music, I look at how the way it can be so corruptible to the point that it's not even funny. And when I look at the arts, when I look at time and I look at effort, it's beautiful, man, because it shows that people truly do care. And there are also other people who are like the Andy Warhol of the art world. Yes, I'm looking at you, Sonic Recolors. Yes, I'm looking at Recolors. They're like the Andy Warhols. Sure, you may get like a brief burst of 1 minute of fame, but 1 minute can go by really quick. See, you have 1 minute, it's gone. That's it. That's your 1 minute of fame. It's just wasted. Sure, you may get you get famous. Sure, you may get infamous. But truth be told, if you took time and effort and actually show off that, hey, this is really cool right here, and I like the effort in actually putting into artwork, that's something good right there. Because, like, when you lack the effort to do art, you lack the initiative. And when you lack the initiative, it shows that, hey, what's the point? You're not even going to try to do anything. Oh yeah, and you see that this is my shirt I created with symbols that I made on my own. Don't worry, I'm not going to sell it as merchandise, but still, just something I just want to show off. But still, back onto the subject of art. Art reveals something about a person. And even if that person says, oh, don't worry, this is just art. But let me tell you something. To have the creativity of the mind and have the effort of the body and to have the heart to do something and show it to the world, and to freely express yourself. That takes significant effort, believe it or not. Because some people think that, hey, art, what, forget about it. I'm like, let me tell you something. Art is very significant. And I know I was supposed to talk about music, but music is also a part of art. And when you look at the arts, singing, dancing, acting, music, and, artistry, as in, like, drawing, sculpting, there are sub elements to it, but you get it. Art is very important. And when you don't cultivate art, it begins to crumble. And all you have is just a faceless portrait that could have been potentially completed, but in the end, it has no value because you don't value it yourself. Now, how does this tie in with nowadays? I mean, everybody expect art to be, like instant noodles, done in a jiffy. But it's not really. Is it really good, or is it just seasoned? Truth be told, like when it comes right down to art, man, it takes effort. And you can try the easy way out and say it's art, that's cool, but you're just gonna be known as a Andy Warhol clone. And I don't want to be an Andy Warhol clone. Sure, I may take some time to do some art, but at least I take time and effort to do it, as opposed to just being like, hey, yeah, let me just do like a song every color, and that's it. There you go. Now that is art right there. Cause I want to do my shit. No. See, let's just put it like this. When I look at art that's considered to be art, I just say like, did they put time and effort to do this? Because this looks like the old school version of copy and paste. Sure, you may get some cool effects here and there, but truth be told, it's not really worth it. Especially when it comes right down to music, dancing. I mean, dancing you have to be choreographically inclined, and you have to be synchronized, which is cool. To take time and effort in order to dance and just to make sure everything goes off without a hitch. But just hear me out. It's just that it's kind of boring seeing the same thing, hearing the same thing, doing the same thing. It just gets tiring. So you just want to do something new. And some people are not exactly inclined to being critiqued or even giving out criticism, because they'll just blow up and they'll just be like, man, I don't need to listen to y'all. I live my own way. If y'all got a problem with it, and y'all got a problem with it. And I'm just like, hey, you know what, man? I used to be the same way too. But eventually you have to grow out of it and you realize like, damn, I used to be a fool back then. I had to say that to myself as well. But you know what, man? It's not about how old art took effort. It's about what the new school is willing to do to provide the fact that it has a history and is willing to be a history, especially with the arts. And when you forget about the arts, you tend to forget about yourself and your culture. And with that, YouTube, this is Broman Clash. And if you like the video, you can subscribe, like, comment, share to your heart's content. Other than that, I say I won, and I hope y'all have a great morning for me, or evening for y'all if y'all living in a different time zone. So catch y'all later.